Hey sports fans, welcome to another episode of All Things Buccaneers, part of the All Things Sports Network, your source for news on all your favorite sports teams. I'm your host, Corey Ears. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at how our Bucs started 6-2, looking like a legitimate NFC contender, have since unraveled going 1-5 in their last 6 games. And if you needed a snapshot of this dumpster fire, look no further than their latest meltdown against the Atlanta Falcons. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and if you really like it, share it with your friends. Now let's get into this. At 6-2, the Bucs looked like they had found their rhythm. Baker Mayfield was playing efficient football with MVP chatter around the league. The defense was opportunistic, and Todd Bowles seemed to have the team focused on the prize in hand. We were talking about the NFC potentially going through Tampa in the playoffs, with realistic expectations of a Super Bowl run. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. The offense was inconsistent, relying on late-game heroics, and the defense was living off timely turnovers rather than sustained stops. And from that came the collapse. And from that, one win in the last 6 games. Suddenly, the offense stalled. Mayfield's decision-making regressed, and the defense couldn't get off the field on third downs. The Bucs went from being in the NFC South's driver's seat at the end of October to dreaming about what draft picks can turn this ship around in early December. The frustration is palpable. Penalties, blown assignments, and lack of urgency have defined the last month and a half of the season. Now let's talk about the latest embarrassment. Another primetime game, a throwback game, Thursday night at home against division rival Atlanta. Tampa held a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter after getting an ever-elusive octopus by Chris Godwin. That should have been the moment the Bucs slammed the door on this division. Instead, along with an untimely interception by Baker Mayfield, the defense collapsed. Atlanta marched down the field, twice scoring touchdowns to tie the game. At that point, we were forced to punt, and as time expired, the Falcons kicked a walk-off field goal to win the game 29-28. How the tides have turned. One thing, I thought there was a rule in the NFL that didn't allow a player to dive into a dog pile and recover a fumble. Apparently not when there are 6 Bucs in a pile and one Falcon dives in. Falcon ball. And then, when 2 body parts touch the ground simultaneously, one inbounds and one out of bounds, it's ruled out of bounds. No catch. Nope, not when it's Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons. He, by the way, ended up with 3 touchdowns and over 150 yards receiving. That's the first time a tight end has had those types of numbers since Shannon Sharp in 1996. What else? Oh, there was also the defensive offsides on Zion McCollum that alone cost us 4 points in crunch time. And you can't lose a game in which your opponent has 19 penalties called against him. It's plain and simple. That wasn't just a loss, that was a gut punch. The Bucs looked unprepared, undisciplined, and completely rattled. Blowing a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter against a divisive divisional opponent is the definition of a dumpster fire. So what does this mean for Tampa Bay? At 7-7, they've squandered the cushion they built early in the season. I mean, the NFC South is still winnable, but this definitely looks like a team that's spiraling, not surging. Todd Bowles is under immense pressure. Questions about his leadership and lack of adjustments are louder than ever. And to Gerald McCoy, as much as I appreciate your contributions to the team over the years, you are wrong on this one, sir. You are wrong. Todd Bowles is the head coach of this team. He is the on-field CEO. Baker Mayfield, your quarterback and field general, has stated the players have been neglecting details in practice. It's the head coach's job to recognize this and stop it before it shows up on the field. Not to get pissed off after you've lost 5 of your last 6 games and go through an expletive-laden press conference throwing literally everyone under the bus but yourself. Thumbs down, coach. Thumbs down. And while Baker has shown flashes through his injuries, along with his late game interception in this one, he hasn't proven that he can continue to carry this team while everyone else is falling apart around him. This was supposed to be the triumphant return of Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan. This isn't just a slump. This is an identity crisis. The Bucs don't know who they are, and time is running out. From 6-2 to 7-7, the Bucs have gone from contenders to pretenders. Their collapse against the Falcons was just the latest chapter in a season of self-inflicted wounds and wasted opportunities. The question now is simple. Can they salvage what's left? Or will this season be remembered as one of the greatest implosions in franchise history? Stay tuned because this dumpster is still engulfed in flames. At least we have a long week to get ready for our next game against our former offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, and his Carolina Panthers with, the division on the line. All we can do this weekend is root for the Saints to give us a little breathing room. But for now, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. It's super simple for you and means a whole lot to me. Fire the cannons. Let's go Bucks.